I just want to do a real quick video. A lot of people saw the carriage go by in the video that I did, and a lot of people said, "Oh, that's cute. That's the eye of the serpent. That's this. That's that." So here's the thing. If the Lord told me to go down to the alley that day, and He wanted me to show everybody that when I walked out of the alley, there was an image of Adam on the on the stained glass window right there, right when I exited the alley. So as I exited the alley the night I got saved, He wanted me to show y'all that there was Adam in the Garden of Eden. So when I walked out, the very first thing I see is Adam in the garden, Jesus ascending into heaven, and down on the wall underneath Him, a guy sowing seed. It says, "Whatsoever man soweth, that must he also reap." Well, this is kind of interesting and kind of weird. I already had images of these, of the alley in this folder that's called My Personal Testimony. Now, again, a lot of people are like, "Well, why would you get killed if you open the door? What, the janitor's going to kill you?" It's like, yeah, you haven't been around. You don't really know what's going on. So I'm going to leave the link to My Personal Testimony folder, and you can go click on any one of these links and listen to my personal testimony, see a video of it. I did a radio show one time with a friend of mine, went over the whole thing again, just how wild it was, the set of events that led to me getting saved. I mean, it was like a movie. It's like Born Identity. It was insane. Totally insane. So anyway, go listen to that, and then you'll know what's up. But anyway, so here's what I find very curious. So the Lord told me that night to go down to the alley on March 2nd. He said, go down to the alley and videotape, where you exited the alley and what was right in front of you. And so it was this big stained glass window, and it was this guy sowing seed right under the stained glass window, right under the Garden of Eden. Whatsoever man soweth, that must he also reap. And so He told me to go down there and do that, but did you ever consider this? Why did He want me to go down there if I already had the images in my library? And I thought about it. I was reading people's comments, and I was like, like a lot of people Q. Let me tell you something about Q, okay? Q is bull crap, okay? Just, sorry, if you don't like hearing that. Q is the 17th letter of the alphabet. Go look it up. What is the meaning of the number 17 in the Bible? It means complete victory over your enemies. And Q is like this, real secretive guy that's releasing little tads of information that, oh, wow, Q was right. Oh, wow, Q was right. Q is mocking everybody. Q is the spirit of the enemy, and he's using a host body and using a YouTube thing and a release of information to get everybody all, it's the 17th letter of the alphabet, Q. Do you ever see Star Trek back in the old days? Q, Q was like this godlike guy. Yeah, Q's a joke. I can show you references to Q even at this place called the Quarry down the street. It's this big outdoor mall, and the way they make the letter Q is like the serpent coming through the hole. It's like, no, Q's a joke. So anyway, some people may not like hearing that, but I gotta tell you, it's a distraction. So let's go back to this. I want to talk about this. Why did the Lord tell me to go down to the alley that night? Watch. So I put it in the vid right here. And where the human race. See. Hopefully y'all were able to hear all that. Didn't have my headset on. Anyways, so came from, and we're all angels, and we're all trapped. There's a counterweight on them, and they're horizontal to the ground, and I started walking on those. I came out a door up there. Hang on one sec. And we're all trapped. Hang on. Okay, I'm sorry. So here we go. So the Lord told me to go down to the alley where I got saved on March 2nd. Well, on March 2nd, I was putting together the stuff, for this video where Obama's the serpent in the garden. There's my artwork with me and Eleuthera, licentious freedom, in the garden. And then when I went out the door, Eleuthera was saying, "Don't open the door," in the back of the hotel. In the alley where I got saved. We were inside the hotel. There's people that meant to do us harm that were there that I'd been in high-speed chase with that same day and had to abandon my car, all kinds of crazy stuff going on. Anyways, so I was faced with a choice: open the door and probably die, or don't open the door and listen to Eleuthera saying, "Don't open the door." And she did. She represented licentious freedom on this planet. She was like the perfect girlfriend. And so I opened the door and I went out and I knew the truth, and the truth set me Eleuthero, free of moral and mortal liability. I went out and I was born again into eternal life. So what a paradox. Inside this hotel, I have Eleuthera saying, "Don't open the door, because if I go out, the guys waiting at the end of the alley would probably come down and shoot us because of the situation that had happened earlier that day. But if I do open the door, the Spirit is telling me you'll know the truth," just like 100% no lying, nylon, turn it upside down. And so the Lord told me open the door. I opened the door. I came out this door. I walked down this little set of steps, and then I started walking horizontally, and this stairwell went boom and hit the ground. Michael was waiting right there to pray with me. Pray with me, my brother. Okay, Our Father who art in heaven, and water and light came down on me. Told you a million times. Sorry, not a million, but a lot. So anyway, so the Lord tells me to go down to this alley on March 2nd. Let's see what happens. This is the alley where I was born again. Wow, weird. A lot of people go, "Oh, wow, that's definitely Q. That's Q. Q is right." Q is nonsense. It is you being mocked by an intelligence working through a human or possibly even artificial, giving people little carrots, just keep going. Here's a carrot, here's a carrot. Never coming to the knowledge of the truth. Come to the knowledge of the truth. Q's a joke. Okay, so now, here is a carriage that pulls down the street right in front of me. I got saved. This is the alley where I was born again. Very odd. Very, very odd. And so a lot of people left comments, and I'm like, "Lord, that is kind of weird. I already had all these pictures of that stained glass window. I already have all those pictures in my folder, so why would you send me down there?" And, these people are leaving some odd comments. Oh, like, "Q is wonderful. Q's here to save us." I'm like, it's like, dude, no, Q's not here to save you. Jesus is here to save you. The truth is here to save you, not Q. Q is the 17th letter of the alphabet. It means complete victory over one's enemies. You know what? Let me just prove it. Okay, there you go. Meaning of numbers in the Bible. The number 17. In the Bible, the number 17 symbolizes overcoming the enemy and complete victory. Okay, well, it's Lucifer saying, just like he's saying in all the Time's Up stuff, with these guys, Time's Up at the Shining Spear of God Awards, where they're going, "Time's up." Seeds tied together. Yep. Remember these guys? And it's time to finally say, "Time's up." Let me look at you. Q. Q. Q is telling everybody, "Oh, here's a little carrot. Watch for this. Look at this." He's not helping anyone come to the knowledge of Jesus Christ. He's a carrot thrower, and everyone's taking the bait. Q's a joke. Q's just leading people, like Lucifer, just taunting you, overcoming the enemy, which is us in their estimation, and complete victory over us in their estimation. You do. There's the seed. There's one seed. I slowed the volume down.
Changes we are witnessing are being driven by the powerful sound of new voices.
Satan, Lucifer.
Of different voices.
Yeah, Lucifer.
Of our voices joining together in a mighty
Many in one.
that is finally saying, time's up.
Many in one. E pluribus unum. Okay, so anyway, there you go. That's just total nonsense that everyone's taking the Q bait. So I thought I would just go ahead and slam Q right now because Q is not leading anybody to Christ at all. So if you want to make some remark about, oh my God, that's Q going by and Q's here to save us. No, Jesus, the truth. You will know the truth, and the truth will set you eleuthero. Got it? You will know the truth, and the truth will set you eleuthero. Because you chose eleuthera, licentious freedom. Angels have a choice. When they make the wrong choice, they end up with a dad that is a murderer and murders and destroys his own children, children of Satan. Okay, so now what is up with this thing going by? A lot of people have speculated. I found it to be very odd. I found a lot of the comments to be very odd. I was like, okay. It's the eye of a serpent. Well, it does look like an eye of a serpent, no doubt. But it also looks like a lighted carriage, kind of like Cinderella's carriage. Now, when I saw it, I thought, well, a lot of people have their opinion what this represents and what it means. And while I was looking at it and while it was on my desktop, I opened up a YouTube thing and I clicked on some button and this is what came up. Right here, this came up and I thought, wow, that's weird. And as a matter of fact, this was not up on the screen. Well, maybe this was. These two videos were the ones that were right in my face. This one and this one. And this one is a finish line and it's pointing towards, I mean, I understand there's a clock in the corner for watch later, but it is a finish finish sign pointing towards a clock. But look right here. Look what's right next to it. That is a clock with the little hand at 12, the big hand at 12, and the second hand is 1 second. 1 second from the 12 o'clock mark. So while I was contemplating, so what's up with the chariot, like a giant Cinderella pumpkin going down the street right when I pull up?
The Lord told me to come down.
The Lord told me to come down here right now.
Just
do a quick drive-by. Why? I already had the stuff in my folders at home.
Where I got saved. This is the alley where I was born again.
Wow, that's weird. And and by the way, this alley had water in it, which is really odd. There was some giant leak going on. And so here's this pumpkin chariot going by. And, it's just very odd, like a Cinderella, this carriage going by. And so, I wasn't trying to make anything of it right up until I was like, so what's up with the Cinderella carriage? And what's up with everybody thinking, oh, it's Q here to save us, which is like, what the heck, man? Q's not here to save you. And so anyway, so I was sitting there contemplating that. And while I was contemplating that, oddly enough, somehow I clicked on this and it said final hour, final hour, final hour, final hour, final hour, final hour, final hour. And there's a clock right here with the big hand and the little hand straight up on 12, 1 second till 12 o'clock midnight. Well, does that remind you of a story where there's a girl that was basically kept as an indentured servant underneath her two evil sisters, stepsisters, and her evil whatever mother, godmother, whatever it was. And yeah, she was Cinderella, and she ended up having to get out of there by midnight. I thought that was really odd. And I'm thinking, if there's anything to that whatsoever, let me tell you what it is. Time's almost up. You've got about 1 second to midnight. finish, final hour, final hour, final hour, final hour. I did not click on this. This is not a channel I go to and watch videos. I've seen a few of Mark's videos. Some of them are very good. I just don't go to this channel and watch videos though. So anyway, if you see final hour, 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 finish 1 second to midnight, and you're sitting there going, I wonder what's with the chariot that looks like a pumpkin going down the street right when I pull up, and I wonder why.
And I'm coming down to the alley where I got saved. The Lord told me to come down here.
And I wonder why I'm going down there in the first place.
Drive by and let everybody know. This is where I got saved. This is the alley where I was born again.
Well, there's the alley where I was born again, and look at that, like a vesicle right there. And it's, I mean, it's very, very odd. I mean, it's very, very strange that at that very moment that would go by. And what's even stranger is that while I'm sitting there going, okay, everybody get off the cue thing, stop it. And then I'm sitting there going, okay, Lord, like you know what? Why was I down at the alley? Because I already have that stuff. I already have all that stuff in my personal testimony file right here and right here. So what's the point of needing to actually drive down there unless it was you wanted me to see the chariot and you wanted me to accidentally click on some site that showed me it was 1 second till 12 o'clock. Okay, so anyway, kind of weird. The foolishness of God is wiser than the wisdom of men. Now, I really don't like it, people that do dates, because all it does is destroy people's faith, and I just don't do it. But there's some very odd things coming up. The month of Adar ends on 3/16, which is my birthday, and a 6,000-year Jewish cycle also ends on my birthday. I find that kind of odd. I'm not saying that anything's going to happen, but I know we're in our final hours, our final minutes. So we better make the best of them. And I'm working on a pile of stuff to give you guys tons of data now. Getting that Obama Serpent thing out was just like, super weighty. Now I've even drawn it in more. Bad news for the Serpent. Yeah, not good. Yeah, so the Serpent is caught, and that's all there is to it. So anyway, yeah, pretty busted. All right, there you go. And then, by the way, I was working on this video, Time's Up. For what?
Time's up.
I was working on that video, and we're having this go by and this pop up, which shows 1 second to midnight, which would suggest time is up. So there you go. All right, take care. God bless.